Hello everyone, I am Niaxinak, and this is my Let's Play of Star Ocean First Departure. Yeah, I need to turn that down a bit so I can speak. Looks like every time I click away from the thing, it just kind of stops. Am I even... Okay. I can hear it, and boy is it loud. Anyway, this is my first time playing through Star Ocean, the first one of any kind. So I had a choice between this one and... Jesus, this is loud. Okay. I need to... This is also my first time using this particular... Okay. Where is your audio control? Okay, texture game settings, debug. There is none. Super. Alright. So, I guess I'll just have it like paused or something right here. But anyway, this is my first attempt playing through Star Ocean, the first one. I played through the second one before, Star Ocean, the second story for the PlayStation. I've never played through the first one before. It originally came out for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And I originally wanted to play like a version of that was, because it was like Japan only or something like that. This is the first iteration that actually came out to the United States. I never had the PSP. I wanted it, but at the time I just couldn't get it because of reasons. But this and the second departure would have been the reason I wanted to. The second story, in any case, is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Let me get this guy back going again. So, let's see if I can find... So I can just pause it right in the screen. Okay, so I guess while I figure out where the... Or maybe it's just my own audio from my Yeah, it's probably that. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. I'll have to see how this all works out when I'm actually done making the video. Because I don't know, because I could barely hear my own voice the way it was before. Anyway, let's see how this goes now. That's more tolerable. Alright, so, Star Ocean the Second Story is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. I played through that one a number of different times. And I'm very familiar with that game, but I've never played this one before. It already sounds like very similar to the first one just from the sound effects on it. So, I don't know. I did not get very far at all. I do think I have this game on my Super Nintendo emulator. I never went very far into it. I didn't even really play it. I just got through the opening parts of it. There was voice acting, which was very surprising for a Super Nintendo system, but I tend to forget that even those old consoles could be modified by the cartridge you put into it. Like if it didn't have certain hardware that it needed for a certain game, the cartridge could include that. So that was something I had learned, I think, after that point. But anyway, Star Ocean apparently came very late in the Super Nintendo's lifetime. I'll just keep that on. So, as I was saying, this is my... I'm very familiar with the second game. I've beaten it a number of times, including getting some of the secret ending points of it, like, there's a big secret super dungeon, and you could face the final boss in a powered-up super mode, as well as a secret hidden super boss in that one. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's fairly common throughout the Star Ocean franchise. I've only ever played the second one. I did buy... Till the End of Time or whatever it was, the third one for the PlayStation 2, but I never got around to playing it. I still have it in my collection in storage with the rest of my other PlayStation 2 games. I never bought any of the more modern systems from that PlayStation 3 or 4, and instead of getting any next-gen consoles after that point, I'll probably just end up getting a gaming PC. And just getting whatever for Steam. Especially if I'll actually have a good enough computer to play all of them. I'm really looking forward to playing Xenoverse 2 on a system that can actually run it adequately. But that's neither here nor there. Because I'd like to go through and play that game again. But anyway, Roddick is fine.
Planet Issei confirmed. Departing high-density space at 1203.
Well, he looks familiar.
T50321.
Roger. Putting Issei on screen.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing how much, if at all, they modify Second Departure. I have it, and I don't believe it was very different. I think there was a different opening cinematic.
Turn the ship about. Fire thrusters.
But I don't think there was much else that was different from that. Just from getting to the first menus.
3, 2,
So.
1.
So that was very clearly Mars, even though it's not Mars.
Anti-shock. Raise defense shields.
So I guess there's a double for Mars somewhere in the universe.
SD-346.
So.
An unknown power threatens to hurl us into a new age of civilization.
So I can't help but notice the strong Star Trek
Or
influences.
just the whimsy of fate. Whatever it is, the human race continues to advance into the great unknown.
Very, very strong Star Trek influences. But I'll take it. I'm a fan of Star Trek. I really should put that PlayStation Star Trek game on my gaming docket at some point in time. It was a fighter type game that was very popular around the time where there were like a bunch of like space fighter type games. I also played the Colony War, all three of the Colony Wars games. So I enjoyed those. And that one came out after, I think it was like called Star Trek Invasions or something.
Man, I'm bored. Hey, that's a good thing. It means all's well. What about Millie? What do you really think about her anyway? What do you mean? Let me give you a friendly warning. That
A
girl's
PG-13
total
friendly
scatterbrain.
warning.
She doesn't listen to anyone.
Is she right behind me?
Millie! Listen, I meant...
You jerk! If you've got time to complain about me, you've got time to work.
There's nothing to
So-
do around here, Millie.
Why don't you
Maybe
go
I should
out
check
on
to
a
see if I
patrol
picked up
then?
an anime
Come
instead
on,
of
I'll
the
join you. We can all do it together.
show itself.
All right.
Roddick, you come with us too. It's settled then. We'll all go together.
Yay! Okay. Well, he has a tail, blue hair. Wow, yeah, this is... Oh, I guess 2 isn't that much different from 1. Many of the same stats. I know from looking at some of the GameFAQs guys that the skills were... What do you mean, learn skills? Oh, okay, when I gain SP points, I can go through there. So even though I played Star Ocean 2 like a lot, it was one of my favorite games. I haven't played that game probably since the early 2000s, I think, at the latest. I'm fairly certain it was around there. So I'm going to be kind of relearning a lot of this, and I've noticed from looking at the guides on GameFAQs that there are some subtle differences. So none of them have any skills because they're all horribly useless. I know that they all start out with some kind of talent, which I'm not sure if that was in Star Ocean 2 or not. Originality, designs... Oh no, there was! So their talents are supposed to make them good at certain things or bad at certain things. And I know that I was actually looking at a pickpocket guide. And I would have needed nimble fingers for that. Hi, Millie. Blessing of mana. Listening, taste. I can kind of guess as to what skills that these would apply to based on their naming alone. I think Blessing of Mana just goes to anyone who has the ability to use magic. No talents at all? Seriously? Tactics. Focus on healing friends. Oh, man. This feels like going down into a good old game I used to... Not necessarily nostalgia, but definitely like riding a favorite bike. So I don't think I have any new equipment. All of that stuff is essentially the same. I like the organization. I didn't have this when I played Star Ocean 2. That might be a new... Maybe that's one of the new features in First Departure versus the old version. I'm trying to decide if I want to restart, because I don't know what talents there actually are. I should go look, maybe, possibly. Maybe there's a talent guide. If you hear violin playing in the background, that's my stepdaughter practicing on her violin. Let's see, special arts fact, private action pickpocketing guide, item creation. I would really, if he has any good starting stats at all, I would want it to be good at crafting. I suppose it wouldn't matter for as much for crafting as long as someone was good at it. Actually, let me go back to talents again. So everyone's fell pool, eh? If I remember correctly, those were... What were they? I remember in Star Ocean 2 that they were... I remember a couple of characters being fell pool. I think they're basically the space elves of this particular franchise, I'm fairly certain. I know for a fact there was one character in Star Ocean 2 that was fell pool. Set spells, spell usage. Ooh, I could set spells in those positions? So she has heal. Okay. So I'm guessing I would have to select that from an actual spells screen. Oh, they have no food or anything on them. So I'm going to have to see... Alright. So... I can attain blackberries right off the spot. I am going to have the help of a strategy guide as I get through this, just because that's how I've always played games. Especially because I would like to try to get through this and not miss anything. I would eventually like to, if there are any like hidden bosses or secret endings or anything like that, I'd like to get that. Where did I go to see their talents? Oh, right here. Okay. Originality. I wish I could see what some of these talents actually did, or at least what they would apply to. Originality isn't as obvious as to what it might apply to. Customization guide, customization list. Maybe I shouldn't worry about this that much at this stage. It's still fairly early. It also means I won't be able to use Roddick much for pickpocketing. And from what I've seen from the pickpocketing guide, it doesn't look like I would be Let me get the strategy guide off in its own specific window. I already have the strategy guide off to its own specific window. Let me get the pickpocketing guide off to its own specific window. Because in Star Ocean 2, it's actually necessary at one point in order to pickpocket something from a specific character. And I had been wanting to see if that was ever necessary at this point. I really don't want to miss that if something comes up. I guess for the time being, I'll just start getting through the town and just start picking up items. So, anyway. Let's go back up here. I'll find my blackberries. But anyway, he's good at music. I'd assume that's rhythm sense anyway. Aha! So, they must have redone this game from the ground up, because these backgrounds are definitively not Super Nintendo era. So, are the blackberries the only thing in here? Leave the building and open 2 more chests on your right. That's not my game screen. Ah, here we go. And a flare bomb. Blackberries. I know what they do. Resuscitates a party member, so that's my Phoenix down. And a flare bomb. It's basically a grenade. So I run by default. Ooh, I could do window color. Should I change the window? I think I will. Camera position on leader, control configuration. Oh, what should the colors be? I do like the blue-green motif. It is called Star Ocean, after all. I will make it a wee bit brighter. Nice if it weren't so slow. So I have that one set at 200, I'll set these at 100, and then I'll just keep the back one. Brighten up the place a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so looks like another hot day today. Dorne's house. Hey, don't touch that. That music box means a lot to me. Dorne's the one who... I hope, even though he's not talented in anything at all, that he at least has some prime stats. But no, it looks to be exactly the same as Roddick. Although he does have more hit points, though fewer magic points. So I'm guessing he's going to be the party meathead. Despite the slight differences. She, of course, has typical magic user stuff. She's super intelligent. And is terrible at everything except casting magic. All of them, and every one of them is felt cool, because space elves are cool. So glad Sheena's feeling better. It's all thanks to your father. Please give my regards to Martoth when you see him. Millie's house. Finally, some blueberries. Can't wait till one of us can cook. I can't remember if there was ever any blueberry pie. Millie's dad, Martoth. Millie, I hope you haven't been neglecting your symbology studies. Once I've retired, you'll be the only one who can take over for me. I know, Dad. You don't need to go on about it. Alright. So, I guess so I got the blackberries, those things. So, there's a talisman somewhere, more blueberries, some twice cooked pork. Grab the talisman, okay. Hey kid, I'm so sleepy, but Mom says I need to get up. She just wouldn't leave me alone. I want to learn to cook, but I also love crafting and want to be able to play an instrument. But I'm not talented at all. I'll cheer her up. Sophia, it's not like you at all to give up so easily. You just need to work at it. And then you'll get better. You're right. Thanks, Millie. Thanks for all your hard work. Old man Thule. So, I guess you're not going to let me buy anything. Fine. I didn't want to buy anything anyway. I guess I could buy from the food shop. Well, I see some stairs back there. Hi, Roddick. We just got a fresh shipment of vegetables, so make sure to tell your mother. Oh, definitely. Thanks. Got any blackberries? No, we haven't gotten them in yet. What do you need blackberries for? Your magic points is terrible. What did she say? Hello, let me know if I can help you. I guess I can't do shopping. I'm guessing there's a FMV sequence somewhere. Hey, Roddick, let's keep patrolling Kratos. Okay, fine. If you ever hurt Roddick, just make sure you get better with my special sparkle magic. Aw, thanks, Sheena. Excellent. So the only other time I've actually played this game was essentially just kind of wandering around a little bit before. So I'm already much further now than I was last time. I haven't been to Cool in a while. If you ever happen to go that way, please give my regards to my friends. Hello, lady. Actually, considering the pointed ears and the tail, maybe they're like a mix between Vulcans and Saiyans. An interesting mix. the passion of the Saiyan and the sternness of the Vulcan cancel each other out to make them normal people. Or maybe not, I don't know. Hey, thanks for all your work. Have you noticed anything strange or unusual going on? No, it's been nice and peaceful thanks to your efforts. Talisman acquired. Alright. The mystical talisman imbued with the powers of an unknown god that raises the wearer's defense. No other items. No materials. You can go to anyone. I'd like to look at the item. I think I used to be able to... Oh, here we go. Yes. Perfect. One of the things I also really liked about the second game is its extensive and exhaustive list of like elements, bonuses. There's just so many ways you can customize a character in that game. Yeah, here we go. So it resurrects you and restores your hit points by 60%. So I suppose ideally I should give it to her, but also ideally she should never be in combat. I could give it to Meathead. What else are they equipped with? Leather longsword, leather armor, wooden shield, and leather greaves. I guess since he's my main character, I should have Roddick be given the talisman. I guess. That'd be nice if I could reorder it differently. Ye olde weapon shop. Although technically it is pronounced the, even when because of that weird ancient Y, but whatever. Remember, you kids are responsible for the safety of this town. Don't forget to equip your weapons at all times. And remember, we never sell things at discounts. Oh, come on, we all know that. Okay, fine, I get it. You're not going to give us anything right now. Hi, Mom. Fraser was saying she just got new equipment, new shipment of vegetables. Oh, good. I should go buy some before they sell out again. I don't need the rest yet. Although it's nice to know where I can go to rest. Maybe I should get a PSP at some point in time. So does this go anywhere? Hey, Roddick, let's keep patrolling Kratos. Okay, so I got the talisman and everything. Speaking with at least 5 people in Kratos, return to the Defense Force HQ. Okay. So there's going to be an FMV here shortly. All right.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, there we go. Somebody help!
Bandits!
Oh, I remember those guys. They were in Star Ocean 2 as well. And what outfits those guys are wearing. Bum, bum.
Bastards! Coming here in broad daylight.
We've got to help them. Hurry!
Help! Help! Alright. Y'all's gonna get it now. Let's crush him.
We have company.
So this is exactly like Star Ocean 2. Did they just redo Star Ocean 1 in the... Leave him alone. So I've noticed my thing keeps freezing a little bit. Man, it has been a long time since I played this game. I feel it coming back to me, but man, it has been a long time. I really do love the combat system in this game, though. Just checking something real quick. Get out of that, actually. Still not enough to level up yet. I've always found it weird that most games don't start you at with the leveling system don't start you at level 1. Like, you can't even play the game at level... It's always seemed weird to me, but whatever. I'm mostly thinking of just because it's like I've watched recently a Let's Play of Final Fantasy 1, and it's always struck me odd that a lot of those Final Fantasy games like start you off at a few levels higher than ordinarily would be. There you are! Excuse me. Let's go.
We have company.
Here they come! That one was way too fast.
I'm glad these battles are fairly easy. I definitely feel like I'm in a bit of a learning curve here.
They're putting up more of a fight than we figured, boss.
Pathetic. Letting a couple of brats step all over us? Just wait till I show them!
We aren't just any brats, I'll have you know. We're the official town defense force.
All three of us. In this town with like 5 buildings.
And we're not about to let some punk swagger in here with this pack of gutless losers.
To be fair, for a tiny town that it is fairly well built and surprisingly well equipped.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't last 2 minutes in a fight.
Ooh, I like her.
What did you say?
Let's get him, boss.
Yeah! Let's do it!
Keep focused, everyone!
Be careful, everyone! Boy, they were weak.
Ooh, blueberries and blackberries acquired. Is that just one each, or?
All right.
All right.
Oh, great!
Millie has learned antidote.
Power's flowing in me.
Super. We'll have to see all of, what all new swagger we got.
Thanks a lot, guys.
And by swagger, I mean confidence.
Just doing our job, sir.
Ooh, how suave of you.
That night.
I made some tea for you.
This room looks familiar. Oh, wow, and she does look like Roddick.
Thank you, ma'am. Enjoy.
Those bandits hardly even put up a fight.
What are you talking about? That was a pretty close call, and you know it.
No, it really wasn't.
Something wrong, Roddick? You look a little off.
I really should go through the Super Nintendo version and see just how different it is from this, because this is definitely like, it looks like they took Star Ocean 2 and just remodified it to be like Star Ocean 1. Like, with all new sprites and things, but the same engine, the same This room specifically looks familiar too, and I can't quite put my finger on where it might have come from.
Oh, he's just been moping around all the time lately.
Well, see you later.
Yeah.
Hope you feel better tomorrow, Roddick.
That's fine, I guess, though.
Thanks again, ma'am.
Oh, certainly. Come back anytime.
Being bored's a good thing, huh?
Hey, no news is good news there, buddy. Now that came right out of Star Ocean 2. Or maybe it went the other way around, I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were still sleeping. Did you have trouble falling asleep?
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure? You've been acting kind of strange lately. I don't want Millie and Dorne having to worry about you.
Oh, stop worrying so much, Mom. I'll be back later.
Yeah, you'll do well. Alright. Let's see where we are in the... Next morning, head to the... that's where the rest of my stuff comes from. So, that was kind of fun. No, I guess I'll just... I'll just look around for now. Hey there. Dorne's already gone ahead to the Defense Force office. So I know RPG towns are always like just smaller just to make it useful for the player, like so you don't have to move several miles from one location to the next, but it is kind of funny talking about defending this town and having its own Defense Force HQ in the middle of town when it has like literally fewer buildings than I could count on both of my hands. And a population the size of one particularly large house.
Good morning, Roddick. Dorne already went inside.
But that's just one of those necessary things, I guess.
Hey, Roddick, the captain's waiting for...
We have a captain? Okay.
There you are, Roddick.
Okay, so... This is like a police chief kind of situation and not like the lead of this particular group. Or, I mean, he's not like... Less Leonardo, more Splinter.
To business, then.
Or maybe a
You made
Zordon.
us all proud here yesterday, repelling a bandit warlord with only the three of you, they tell me.
Who else is here?
The townspeople wanted me to give this to you. Here, take it.
Ooh. Ooh.
What the? Hey, this is Roddick's favorite food. Why does he get special treatment?
So, for those of you who don't know, if a character has a favorite food, there's like a cooking specialty. You can make all kinds of different and locate various foods. Like, that's pretty much all the healing items. Sorry about that. All the healing items are basically some kind of food, so if a character has a favorite food, it's usually going to just heal them up to full. So I'm assuming that's the same in this game. I don't know why they would change it.
It came from a fan of Roddick's. That's all I know.
Okay, then.
Well, regardless, keep up the good work, all of you.
So, placing bets that the fan of Roddick's is Roddick's mom, who doesn't apparently have her own name.
It's not like we get stuff like we had yesterday very often. This town would be perfectly safe even if we sat on our tails all day.
Mm-hmm.
Dorne, knock it off.
Okay. I'd say the future's bright for the three of you. So who's the rest of this magical defense force? between our 1 healer and 2 warriors. Hey, I see that treasure chest up there. How come some of them I can open and some of them I can't? Get out of my way. Thank you. I didn't mean to be rude. Anyway, let's see what we got here. So we all have 1 new skill point that we have no place to spend. I probably should wait to spend any of my skill, just like what I do in the second game. I probably should wait to spend any of my skill points until I get either most of the skills or all of them, or at least in Star Ocean 2 there is a skill that lets you just like increase the skill points you get when you level up. That's usually the first one I invest in, except for pickpocketing, which I usually get because, again, there's like a vital item you have to pickpocket off of a character from the game. And it's like, even if you do not want to pickpocket from anyone else, it's that one, and I think there's 1 other item, maybe 2. One of them I'm sure is like a powerful weapon you can grab early in the game, and another one that is maybe 1 other vital item I might be forgetting. So anyway, let's see what they look like leveled up, especially these 2. So Roddick is stronger, smarter, attacks better, has a better defense. So I'm guessing Roddick is just going to be all around the best character in the, which is understandable, I guess, to some extent. She obviously has become smarter. Oh, yes, I should also... So another thing is that the more you use spells in this game, the better they are. Although when I played Star Ocean 2, there really wasn't that much of a difference between using a spell for the first couple of times versus, I think, by the time you max it out. And it takes forever to max it out. Like, you have to... I believe it maxed out in Star Ocean 2 at like 999 times. Or something. So, or maybe I just don't remember what, if any, differences. Because by the time you can get to that point, you've already mastered pretty much all the spells in the... You've already gotten all the spells in the game. And most of them are always going to be better. And the more powerful ones are always going to be better than the less powerful ones. Even if you maxed out the lower level ones and have just started using the higher level ones. So, formation. So, putting her up there, I want to switch her in Roderick's position. Escape position. We'll do that one. I like that one better. It spreads out the offensive force and puts our healers squarely behind. Actually, I will put them a little bit closer like that. Also change up their strategies. Roderick, yes. Right now, I'll just have her focus on healing friends. I think she gets... I think as a healer, she'll still get some attack spells later, because she seems to have similar spells as Rena from the second game. Maybe she is Millie's kid. Alright. So, leave Kratos and explore if you want, but to continue the story, return to the Defense Force HQ. Okay. Alright. So we can apparently go outside and explore a little bit, which is exactly what I want to do. So to continue the story, we'll eventually have to go... Yeah. Oop. So I don't want to use... So because this is an emulator, I can use save states. I don't know if the original PSP had them. I know I could do more with the map. I don't remember if it was... Okay. It doesn't disappear out like it did before.
Hang in there, everyone.
Okay. Okay, so how do I switch between characters? I know I can do that. I used to be able to... Ah. I did... So I don't intend... So just as an FYI, I don't intend to use save states for anything in this game unless, like, I have to stop playing the game for some reason and I want to continue off where I left off last time. But in that case, I'm not going to... I have no intention of using save states as a crutch. I'm going to use the natural saving progression in the game. So, but having said that... Oh, here we go. I'll let them do their thing. So, a lot of this is also just me remembering... Okay. And she is slow.
Let's keep this pace going.
Spectacles. Glasses imbued with the power to see the truth can identify data on enemies and is required for appraising. So definitely something I want to keep. So I suppose I can also do some leveling. I'm guessing the next town I need is just the next one over. It looks like I'm going to end up going on a fairly linear path here. Celestial stop. So you can make a stop at the celestial ship remains if you want. And where on earth is the celestial ship remains? Maybe I should use a different strategy. Okay. Talk to 3 people, talk to whoever, then head back to HU. Ah, bandits. Okay. I suppose one thing I should do while I'm out here is save the game, clearly. Level 3, you get Roddick's Shockwave Swirl. I like how even this goes to Star Ocean 2 to reference what this is like. It says it's like Claude's short-range air slash for you SO2 players, only no long range, which makes this move an move. I'm not going to do a whole lot of leveling up. Maybe I should... I don't really want to do a whole lot of leveling. Actually, I think I will just kind of use this one. This doesn't say anything about the celestial ship remains. So, what's celestial ship? It's located just north of Kratos. Okay. So just north of Kratos would be this direction.
We got trouble!
Be careful, everyone!
Big monsters. Dang it, Roddick. Oh, it's Roddick this time. That's.
I needed that!
Yeesh.
Well, there you go! All right!
Gained 2 levels.
The power's flowing in me!
Great!
That is a lot of experience points. So we're now level 4. So we'll gain our Shockwave Swirl. He has gained nothing. She's gained so much MP and has used so little of it. So just north, huh? I don't see anything.
Look out!
Everyone ready?
That
Boy,
one was
they were
easy.
weak.
More spectacles. Oh, I see a little indentation. Maybe this is it right here. No?
Here they come!
Hang in there, everyone.
Target.
Shockwave swirl! Shockwave swirl! Huh? It's
That
over?
was easy.
I'll take it. So, I'm not seeing it.
Look out!
Hang in there, everyone.
And they attack fast.
That one could have lasted longer.
So I suppose one thing I should be glad for is that the combat system I'm at least mostly familiar with. So directly north, huh? But I don't see any crashed anything.
Here they come!
Hang in there, everyone.
That one was
it's over.
easy.
I suppose I should give Millie one of the blackberries we just picked up. Maybe this is it? That has to be it. It's not directly north.
We have company.
Alright, whatever.
Here they come!
Guess it's over.
It's over?
Huh? It's over? So, along the bottom somewhere. There we go. So, not very useful on its own, but when I start having skills, I believe it's something I can use to alchemize into stuff. It's just, and that's one of the other awesome things about this game in Star Ocean 2. You can make things. Interesting. Alright, back to town. Rest up a bit. Hello. Have you noticed anything strange or unusual? Excuse me. I believe one of these places I could there. Yes. Take care, Roddick. Don't worry, Mom. I'm sure Dad's watching over me. So one of the other games I want to play eventually is also going to be Phantasy Star 1. There was a remake of that game for the PlayStation 2, and I desperately want to play that one. I played Phantasy Star 2 and definitely Phantasy Star 4, which is still one of my top RPGs I've ever played. And I know that they remade 1 and 2. 3 was kind of the black stepchild of that franchise, and well, it didn't end at 4. That's effectively like the last one that anyone... I don't know. After that, the only ones I know of are Phantasy Star Online, and I don't know of any titles since then. I'm sure there's a lot, at least 2 or 3 of them I probably don't even know about. So you're not going to sell me anything? I already cheered you up. Oh, we're just about level 5. So is the weapon shop going to sell any weapons? Or maybe I guess they just don't have anything. So as I recall, skill shops are a thing as well, but I don't see any. I guess I'll advance the story like the game wants me to.
You called for us, sir?
Ah, Roddick. Good to see you here. We've got trouble. Take a look at this.
When did he call us here?
A letter came in earlier.
Send help immediately. Mystery outbreak in Cool Village. Residents suffering from high fever. Mayor, Cool Village.
I wonder if they did this much voiceover work for a second departure.
So what do we do?
We go help them out. That's what.
The herbs that grow on the peak of Mount Matorx ought to do the trick.
Then off to Mount Matorx.
Wait!
Father!
Leave this matter to me.
Marta, will you go on our behalf?
What are you doing from Kronos anyway?
Yes, I don't think we have much to worry about with this mystery outbreak.
Really? Hang on a second, let me go down on my strategy guide to look. Okay, so our next destination is definitely going to be Mount Matorx. Alright.
Well, if the best healer in all of Kratos is on the job, it'd be a tremendous relief to all of us.
I'll be back in a little while, all right? Stay away from Mount Matorx. It's too dangerous for you.
That's where we're going next. Music in this game is wonderful.
off. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. We'll let you know if anything's up. Come on, guys. Lighten up a bit. Millie, I know how you feel, but Roddick, you've been acting weird lately. What's wrong? You can tell us.
I'm feeling teenage angst.
Father still hasn't come back. I've got to find him.
Okay.
You're not going, all right? He said he'd call us if he needed us.
But I can't just sit around and wait anymore.
You can clearly hear who they are.
Roddick! What's it say?
A powerful disease has struck Cool. My methods are powerless against it, and even worse, I'm afraid I've contracted the disease myself. Casual skin contact is enough to spread the illness. It incubates for about an hour, but after it develops, the infected turn into stone in about 3 days' time. There is no hope for Cool. Do not approach it under any circumstances. Martoth Gliet.
Huh. Well, always wash your hands.
Millie, wait!
Standard precautions there, folks.
She's gonna head for Cool all by herself. We've got to stop her.
She could have at least asked to bring us along. Yeesh. So this means I'm not going to have my healer for this group, isn't it? Okay, follow the path out of Cool and head to Mount Metorx. Oh, there's one thing I got to get before I go. I believe that's this house right. Was he in this house? You're not gonna let me go anywhere, are you? Maybe I should have done that before I... Okay, Dorne, you're bringing the whole thing down. Okay. Okay, so we're actually going to Cool first. Okay, that's where the 200 is. I thought it was back here.
Keep focused, everyone! We got trouble! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Yeah! Ha! 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 That one was way easy. Too fast. All right! The power's flowing in me.
The power of anime compels you. I think it's level 7 where I get my next one.
What's wrong, Dorne? Nothing. It's nothing.
Are you out of breath already? Are you also suffering from teenage angst? Bloody teenagers. Why is it always an anime where it's teenagers saving the world? How old are they anyway? Doesn't say. Oh, wait a minute.
Here they come! Let's go! That one was easy. Could have lasted longer.
So I'm guessing the one up the path is going to be the next place anyway, so... There she is.
There's Millie!
Don't touch me. I've already been infected. The town won't survive much longer. I've decided to spend my last few hours in this town, but there is an herb found on my... Yeah, I already know about that. Oh, let's see. Fairly certain town turns to stone. Get an herb on a mountain seems to be surprisingly common. If I recall, I think that was in 1 or 2 different Final Fantasy games.